All right, guys, got the trusty Rmax back in the shop, and I got the crazy idea. I would like to build some upper doors for the Rmax, just to keep the wind out, the rain off, and stuff for when it's cold. So I've looked at several things. I don't like any of the soft enclosures because the zippers never work well at all once they start getting dirt and dust and all the junk in them. And having to zip them up and down just to get in and out is, no, I don't want that. And I've seen some that like fasten to the door, but I don't really want to fasten anything to the door because I want it to be able to be taken off fairly easily and just be like it is. So I've decided I'm going to try to build some gull wing doors. I've seen some kits like those and I like everything about them except for the prices. So I think I'm going to give it a shot to build my own. So for that, I'm going to have some roll bar mounts to mount stuff to, because I don't want to make any permanent changes to the roll cage or any permanent modifications, not just for mounting stuff. So what I'm going to do, what I think I'm going to do easiest, is build clamps that I can put up here and here, and put my hinges for the gull wing on there. And I've looked for some, and maybe there's some out there, but I haven't been able to find them because a lot of them are aluminum. And of course, the aluminum ones are usually pretty big and bulky, and I need it to fit between the top and the roll cage, which I got, a little bit of room there. And some of the steel ones I've found, they're quite bulky too. And they also get fairly expensive for as many clamps as I'm going to need. So I'm going to build my own. So that's what we're going to do today. So when we get done, we should have one of these. And we can just, let's see if I can get you set down here where you guys can see what's going on. There we go. And then just like that, I got something. I can rotate it down here and make my mounting tab here, or I might just put something in between, like a couple of them, and put my mounting tabs on those or something. I don't know. That's still up in the air. I'll have to see when I get the door done, but that was pretty easy. And I can't see in here, but won't be too bad. And I ain't got hardly anything in that, just some scraps I had laying around. And it's nice and low profile, but it'll be plenty strong enough when I clamp her down. But that's what we're going to build. All right, first thing we're going to do, cut off a length of pipe. I'm going to use 2 inches. So this is inch and a half pipe. A roll gauge is 2 inches. Would 2-inch pipe be better? It surely would, but I don't have any. So we're working with what I got. So. Alright, I went ahead and used a sandpaper wheel and took all the coating off of it so we can weld to it. Just clean it up. It's easier to do it while it's one piece. And now I'm going to tack it on the end of that pipe because that'll be the easiest way to hold it so I can put it back in the saw and cut it in half. I could just use a angle grinder and a cutoff wheel, but that removes a little more material than I want because we're already undersized. And hopefully this will be a nice straight cut. Alright, I got me a piece of 1/2 inch round bar by about 1.5 inches. I'm going to drill a hole through the center of it. Well, as close as I can. Alright, there we go. Not bad. It's a little warm though. I'm going to go ahead and thread that and use that as my nut. I don't know why. I mean, you could use a regular nut and skip all the work, but I like the looks of that better for the bolt going through than just trying to weld a nut on there and keep it straight and stuff. Plus I'm going to use 5/16 bolt, and 1/2 inch is thicker than what a 5/16 nut is. So there'll be plenty of threads, so that way I can taper the inside. So that way it'll help the bolt line up when you're trying to do it in a place where maybe you possibly can't see if you're getting it straight. So it'll help line it up and lead it through threads. So that's the only reason why I'm doing it. Alrighty, like that, just like that, I got most of the pieces I need. Pretty much all the pieces. Cutting that on the bandsaw worked great. Nice and straight, and it was easy to cut. Got this done. I was just, like I said, 1/2 inch round bar, about 1.5 inches long. Drilled a hole through it. I got to tap it yet. I'm going to taper the inside so that way it'll help line the bolt up. This is the collar to mount on there to run the 5/16 bolt through, and of course 5/16 bolt. This was I think about 5/8 round. It was just something I already had chucked up in the lathe, and so I just went ahead and used it. It works pretty good, because what I can do is I can drill, or I can grind a taper on it and get it at the right angle, and you'll see later on. But now we got to take this 1.5" pipe and make it 2" and we're going to use this little piece of scrap wear bar from a plow. Just happens to be 2 inches. So I'll just lay that on there and wacky till with a hammer till it decides it wants to be 2 inches too. Pretty much all it takes. Alright, now's the time to set up the hinge, which that other vid there earlier I said we had everything, but I didn't. I forgot we need a hinge. So this is a 1/2 inch but 3/8 diameter hole by 1.5 inch bushing that I cut in half, and so we're going to use that, weld it to each side as soon as I get stuff set up here. Nice thing about this piece of round bar here being the same size as my cage, I can set everything up right on it and weld right here without damaging anything. Don't want my it's too loose. There we go. Looks good. See if I can get a decent ground there. Very important, don't weld both sides of both bushings or your hinge won't hinge. Now if I did that right, it should come off. go. It'll work better once it cools down. But while everything's lined up, I'm going to go ahead and weld that. Just got to make sure you weld the right side. Alright, just use a little bigger bit. Put a little taper on the beginning there. Plus, drilling into that round bar, when you drill down in so that your hole goes all the way around, makes starting your taps easier because you're not trying to just catch on the high point and the high point. See what a difference a little thread cutting oil makes? A little tight, yep. There we go. On to the next step. Alright, I got my hinge on the other side. I got my threaded piece on and this collar for the bolt. Went ahead and ground a bevel in it so that way it'll contact the curve more when I weld it on there, which would be down. Just gotta line everything up, kind of center it up, and weld that on there. All right, time for a test fit. And need a little more slop in this collar. I just ran the drill bit around that a little bit oblonged out, because what happens is this thing's further out here. Where do I? There's my bolt. The further open the clamp is, the more the bolt points up, and so you got to have enough room in the collar to point this way, and then as it tightens up it's more straight, so you need just enough to get it clamped on. But it was started, and I probably could have made it go on through, but it probably work a little better, just a little more room. Yeah. There we go. Clamp's pretty much done. See, it still binds just a little bit, evidently when it's open, but might have a burr in the threads on the other side from welding, because I can screw it in until there and then it gets tight, so I must need to clean the threads out a little bit. But that and this bolt's the same bolt I've been using to weld everything up with, so it's probably not the best bolt anymore, so a new bolt might work better. But now on this side, you know, you could do whatever. You could leave it a bolt. I thought about just getting like a cap head bolt, but you still have to have a nut. I don't really, if you're going to put a bolt in there, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some 1/2 inch rod and just cut a section, or not 1/2 inch, this is 3/8, get a 3/8 rod and cut a section and just weld it to one side. And you'll be able to take the clamp apart if you ever need to, you know, do any work on it. But slide it together, flip it around there, and bolt it up tight. Well, I'll get that and I'll get it welded up, and we'll show you the finished product. And then my next step will be to hopefully start figuring out the frame for the door. Not sure exactly what I'm going to do yet, but I got to get some more materials lined up, and kind of I'm just going to start laying things out and see how it fits, and see if, you know, if what I have in mind will work, or if something better comes to me as I see it come together. But as always, thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.